When we talk about the future of human space exploration, one name comes up again and again, and that is Starship. Built by SpaceX under the leadership of Elon Musk, Starship is not just another rocket. It is more like a vision wrapped in stainless steel, designed to change how humanity looks at space travel. From the beginning, SpaceX has said that the ultimate goal is to make life multiplanetary, and Starship is the machine that is supposed to make that possible. Unlike the rockets of the past that were used once and then discarded, this system is designed to be fully reusable, meaning both the massive booster and the spacecraft on top can be recovered, refurbished, and flown again. That idea alone marks a revolution in aerospace engineering, because cost has always been the biggest barrier between dreams and reality in spaceflight. Starship is unlike anything ever built before. Towering at nearly 400 feet, it dwarfs all previous rockets, including the legendary Saturn V that took astronauts to the moon in the 1960s and 70s. The outer skin gleams with polished stainless steel, a material chosen not only for its strength but also for how it handles the extreme temperatures of re-entry. Where older rockets often relied on aluminum and composites, Starship embraces the retro-futuristic look of polished steel, which not only stands out visually but also has practical benefits. The spacecraft itself, the upper stage called Starship, sits atop the Super Heavy booster, which is the first stage of the system. Together, they make up the most powerful launch vehicle ever conceived, with more than twice the thrust of the Saturn V. The booster, called Super Heavy, is equipped with up to 33 Raptor engines. These engines burn a combination of liquid methane and liquid oxygen, a choice that sets them apart from the kerosene-fueled engines used in earlier rockets like the Falcon 9 or the Russian Soyuz. Methane has the advantage of being cleaner, producing less soot, which makes engines easier to reuse. Even more important, methane can potentially be produced on Mars from the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and hydrogen extracted from water ice, meaning one day starships could refuel on another planet and make the return journey. This was part of the long-term plan right from the start: build a rocket that is not just powerful, but practical for interplanetary travel. The upper stage, also called Starship, carries 6 Raptor engines of its own. 3 are optimized for sea-level operation, and 3 are designed for the vacuum of space. Inside, the spacecraft is designed to be flexible. It can be configured for carrying satellites, cargo, or human passengers. For cargo missions, it can lift massive payloads into orbit, with a cargo bay big enough to swallow entire buses or multiple large satellites in one go. For human missions, the interior can be equipped with cabins, common areas, life support systems, and everything needed for long-duration flights to the Moon or Mars. The crew version of Starship is envisioned to carry up to 100 people, far more than any spacecraft ever built. One of the boldest aspects of Starship is its reusability. The booster is designed to fly back to the launch site and be caught by the launch tower arms, known informally as chopsticks. This eliminates the need for landing legs and allows for a faster turnaround. The Starship upper stage, on the other hand, performs what SpaceX calls a belly flop maneuver during re-entry. Instead of coming down nose first like traditional capsules, it falls sideways, using its broad body to create drag and slow down. Then, just before landing, it flips vertically and fires its engines to touch down on the pad. This maneuver has already been demonstrated in test flights, and, although not every test was successful, SpaceX has steadily improved the design and proven that such a landing is possible. The scale of Starship is enormous, but so is its potential. For satellite launches, it could carry dozens at once, making it perfect for expanding the Starlink constellation, SpaceX's ambitious project to provide global internet coverage. For science missions, it could deliver giant telescopes or planetary probes at a fraction of today's cost. For human spaceflight, it could serve as a lunar lander, a Mars colonization vehicle, or even a system for rapid point-to-point travel on Earth. Elon Musk has suggested that one day Starship could take passengers from New York to Tokyo in under an hour, transforming not just space travel but global air travel as well. Starship is also a central part of NASA's Artemis program, which aims to return astronauts to the Moon. In fact, NASA selected a version of Starship as the human landing system for Artemis, meaning the first woman and next man on the Moon could step onto the surface from a SpaceX Starship. This partnership shows that the rocket is not just a private dream but part of a national and even global plan to expand humanity's presence in space. Building Starship has not been easy. The development site in Boca Chica, Texas, often called Starbase, has seen a series of spectacular test flights, explosions, and redesigns. Each prototype, labeled with names like SN8 or SN15, has pushed the design further, testing engines, aerodynamics, and landing systems. Some crashed dramatically, while others stuck their landings and proved that the concept works. SpaceX's approach has always been iterative: build, test, fail, learn, and improve. Unlike traditional aerospace programs that move slowly and cautiously, SpaceX embraces risk and rapid prototyping, which is why they have moved from sketches to full-scale orbital launches in just a few years. The first full-scale orbital test of Starship with the Super Heavy booster took place in 2023. Although it didn't reach orbit, it was still a huge milestone, demonstrating that the system can lift off under the power of dozens of Raptor engines. The flight ended early when the vehicle lost control, but for SpaceX, each test is a step forward. By 2024 and 2025, additional orbital test flights were carried out, each one going a little further, flying higher, and refining the booster's performance and re-entry control. Progress is fast, and the goal is to achieve full reusability, where both the booster and the spacecraft can be flown multiple times in a short period, drastically lowering the cost of spaceflight. The Raptor engines themselves deserve special mention. They are some of the most advanced rocket engines ever built, using a full-flow staged combustion cycle, which means both fuel and oxidizer are completely gasified before being burned in the main chamber. This design gives them high efficiency and power. Building such an engine was thought to be too complex and expensive, but SpaceX has made it work, producing them in large numbers at relatively low cost. The company has even built a factory specifically for mass-producing Raptors, because a vehicle like Starship requires so many of them. Beyond the technical details, the bigger story of Starship is about ambition. For decades, humanity has dreamed about going to Mars, building bases on the Moon, and exploring deep space. Yet progress has been slow, with budgets, politics, and technology holding us back. Starship represents a leap forward, a machine designed not just for today's missions but for a future where space travel is routine. Its payload capacity, reusability, and scale open doors to missions that were once impossible or unaffordable. Imagine sending not just a small rover, but entire bases, habitats, and fleets of vehicles to Mars in a single launch. Imagine building a permanent lunar settlement with the support of a rocket that can deliver massive amounts of cargo again and again. These are no longer science fiction ideas, they are the scenarios Starship is meant to enable. Of course, challenges remain. Making such a huge vehicle reliable and safe is not easy. Developing life support systems for long-duration flights, creating radiation shielding for deep space, and ensuring safe re-entry from interplanetary missions are all complex tasks that have yet to be fully solved. Critics argue that SpaceX may be too ambitious, moving too fast and cutting corners. Supporters, however, point out that this bold approach is exactly what has allowed SpaceX to succeed where others have stalled. Already, the company has transformed the space industry with the Falcon 9, proving that rocket reusability works and saving billions of dollars in launch costs. If anyone can make Starship a reality, it is SpaceX. The vision does not stop with Mars. Elon Musk has spoken about Starship being the backbone of a multiplanetary civilization. In his view, Earth is vulnerable to disasters, whether natural or man-made, and the survival of humanity depends on spreading out into the solar system. Mars is the nearest target, but the same technology could one day take us to asteroids, the moons of Jupiter and Saturn, or beyond. The dream is to build a self-sustaining city on Mars, with thousands of starships ferrying people and cargo across the void. While that may sound far away, the first steps are being taken now with each test flight of Starship. Even here on Earth, Starship has potential applications. The idea of point-to-point travel could change international transportation. Imagine boarding a Starship in Los Angeles and arriving in Sydney in under an hour. While many technical and regulatory hurdles would need to be overcome, the basic physics are there, and such a system could revolutionize global travel. Part 1 of this review captures the foundations of what Starship is, why it is unique, and what it promises. It is a vehicle that blends raw power with futuristic vision, combining cutting-edge engines, bold reusability concepts, and the ambition to go far beyond what humanity has achieved so far. It is not just about rockets. It is about the possibility of a new era in human history, where space is not a frontier visited only by a few but a place where large numbers of people can live, work, and build. Starship is still in development, and many tests lie ahead, but the trajectory is clear. This is the rocket that could change everything.